Hello friends, welcome to AWS with Jamie. If you are absolutely beginner in AWS, you are at right place. In this video, I'm going to cover everything about EC2 for absolutely beginners, what is EC2 and how you can launch your first EC2 server in AWS. So here we will see EC2 is a virtual server in AWS, which means you can create your computer kind of virtual stuff in AWS, where it will provide you the compute, storage, memories and everything. By launching your virtual server on AWS, you are able to host your web application, database and other stuff. The full form of Amazon EC2 is Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute Service. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud Service, where you can create, manage and monitoring your servers, and where you can host your web application, database and other stuff while you are building your applications or a cloud native application or other stuff. So EC2 is a kind of like compute service where you have available all the resources, compute, storage and memory, so that you can host your application and database and run your server virtually on Amazon. Let us launch our first server and see how it will work in action. So in AWS, when we launch instance, there are a lot of instance type available. So according to your need, like high compute, high memory or storage, according to your need, you can launch your instance. There are 600 plus instance type available in EC2. So instance type is nothing but different configurations. So let us launch our first EC2 instance. I'm clicking on launch instance. We will give a name to our instance so that we can recommend it later. I'm giving name my first server on AWS, so that later we can recommend it if you want to do anything, any changes into it. So we are launching with number of instance, we are keeping it one. We need to select a OS. So there are different options available: Linux, Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows and other flavor of Linux, right? So based on our OS, we need to install AMI, the Amazon Machine Images onto our servers. So it will set up the operating system, and on top of that we can set up our application related packages. So first we need to select the AMI which we want to install according to the OS. So here we will install Amazon Linux operating system. Different configuration we are keeping default for now. We will have to select instance type. There are 600 plus instance types. So for a demo perspective, here we will select a minimal version. So T2 micro we will select, which will give us a 1 vCPU and 1 GB of memory. So for demo perspective and learning perspective, it is better to starting with this. And when you want to launch your real-time application onto AWS, you need to select higher configuration of instance type, which will give you more vCPU and memory. Here we need to create our key pair so that we are able to connect our server by using SSH, right? So I am creating here key pair that we will use later to connect our server, Linux server, by using SSH in PuTTY, right? So here we have different two pair, either PAM or a PPK file. We will create PPK file because I am going to connect by using PuTTY application later. So here we are setting the key which is necessary to connect with our server by using SSH. I created it, and now other configuration we will keep default, but if you want to change anything, we want to launch specific VPC region, we are able to do networking related changes. And there are other configuration, advanced configuration also we are able to do, but for now we will keep it simple and we'll launch with it default configuration. So there are a lot of other configuration available to configure your EC2 instance according to your need, right? So we'll start with default settings and we'll launch our first instance. So let us launch it. you can see we are launching our first application virtual machine on AWS, and you see server is created. So now in EC2 instance listing, we will see our my first server on AWS, or our first virtual machine already created on EC2. Here we can see it is checking some. It will initialize the operating system. Our AMI will be installed into this machine. So it will configuring right now the AMI which we selected, Amazon Linux operating system and everything, and then after launching those configuration which we selected in AMI and instance type, it will do the some checks like everything installed, package is installed proper, AMI is installed proper, and once everything done, we are able to connect our server, and then we are able to do operation, whatever operation we want to do, right? If we want to install any application like Apache or any other PHP or any other language related stuff, Node.js related, NPM related stuff, we are able to install any application software after our OS launch, right? So once everything pass, it will show here 2 by 2 check pass. We are also able to start and stop instance by selecting the instance from listing. We get different options to start stop instance as well as terminate our instance whenever we don't want it. We can terminate and delete instance. We are also able to, if we don't want an instance after a certain type of work, we can able to stop it. So until we use it will charge us. Once we stop it, it will stop the charges. Okay, so it will be hourly charges price for you. So now we can see 2 by 2 check pass. So it means the server is available to connect now. So our virtual machine successfully launched, right? So what we will do is we will connect it by using SSH mode. So in that case, we will use PuTTY software. So I have already have a PuTTY in my Windows machine. So I will open the PuTTY software and will connect our this new launch EC2 by using PuTTY software. So here I will select a host which we want to connect. So here we see this DNS, public DNS, right? So this public DNS we will use to connect our EC2 machine by using SSH. So I will pass that host in this, and then we will do SSH related configuration. In SSH we'll path authentication credential where we downloaded ppk file, that we will give it here. So by using this ppk file for authentication, we are able to connect the servers. So here we can see after accepting this, we are able to connect. Here we will to give users. So user is EC2 users, we will use the default user. So we have a EC2 dash user. Once we pass that user, we will logged in into our server. So now you can see we are already logged in into server. We are able to do all the different Linux command over there now, like sudo apt get install or ls pwd. We are able to see different directory inside the Linux, right? So you need to learn Linux command, and you are able to install different software like Apache, Nginx, or any other stuff like npm or whatever according to your project needs, database needs. You are able to do different commands and install the software in your server. So now you have a full control of this server where you can install any application you want, right? So compared to the Lambda function, EC2 have a more flexibility to manage this stuff. In Lambda side, everything managed by AWS, but in EC2 you will get a full control to manage your application software installing into your EC2 instance. Okay, so Lambda function will pay as you go. It will be charged when you call it. In EC2 will be charged hourly. If you don't need, you can stop it, so it will stop your charges. So this is the way you can launch your EC2 instance and start digging into this. Okay, so this is the way you can start learning your AWS. If you don't have AWS account, then create it. Watch in my channel already have a absolutely beginner video to how to create AWS account. What that, start digging into it, create your first EC2, create your Lambda function first time, create your S3 bucket, and this way dig into AWS, and gradually you can learn more. Like you can also explore how to create APIs and other serverless application in my channel. Please like, subscribe my channel and share this video.